Hi there, I want to welcome you to Wednesday's edition of Journey Through the Gospels. Today we find ourselves in Matthew 20. Have you ever found yourself in the presence of someone famous or someone great? There's a story from several years ago about a woman who was going into an ice cream shop to get some ice cream. And as she's standing in line waiting to get up to give her order, she hears the door open up. She turns around and notices that Robert Redford walks in. Now, for some of you that don't know who Robert Redford is, you might Google him, but about 20 years ago, he was one of the top actors in Hollywood. And she sees him, and she starts to get nervous, and inside she's going, just stay cool, just don't do anything stupid, stay cool, stay calm, and so she tries to ignore him. She gets up to the front of the line, and she orders her ice cream, and then she leaves. And a few minutes later, as she's walking out to her car, she notices that she has her change in her hand, but no ice cream. Now she starts to get a little irritated because she thinks, hey, I ordered my ice cream. Evidently, they took my money, and now I've got my change, but no ice cream. And so she walks back in to complain. She goes to the counter and says, now look, I ordered my ice cream. I evidently paid for it, but you didn't give me my ice cream. The girl behind the counter says, well, ma'am, yes, we gave you your ice cream. And again she says, no, now look, I paid for it, but you didn't give it to me. And just about that time, she feels a tap on her shoulder. She turns around and realizes that she is face to face with Robert Redford. And Robert Redford says to her, ma'am, I believe you will find your ice cream right where you put it, in your purse. Evidently, she was more nervous than she thought meeting somebody famous. Now, how would you react if you found yourself standing in the presence of someone great or someone famous? In Matthew 20, we find a couple of blind men who find themselves in that very spot, in the presence of someone great, Jesus. I want to read it. It's in verse 29. As Jesus and his disciples were leaving Jericho, a large crowd followed him. Two blind men were sitting by the roadside, and when they heard that Jesus was going by, they shouted, Lord, Son of David, have mercy on us. The crowd rebuked them and told them to be quiet, but they shouted all the louder, Lord, Son of David, have mercy on us. Jesus stopped and called them. What do you want me to do for you? He asked. Lord, they answered, we want our sight. Jesus had compassion on them and touched their eyes, and immediately they received their sight and followed him. So Jesus is just walking down the street, and there are all these crowds, and these two blind men start shouting out to him. And the crowd there kind of turn around going, hey guys, just be quiet, leave the master alone, just be quiet. And as they continue to do that, the guys started crying out all the more loud. They get Jesus' attention. And Jesus turns around and he says, what do you want me to do for you? They said, obviously, being blind, they said, we would like our sight. It says Jesus has compassion on them and heals them. Now let me ask you something. How would you answer the question that Jesus asked them? I mean, if Jesus were walking past you and he turned to you and you made eye contact with him and he looked right at you in the eyes and said, what do you want me to do for you? How would you answer that question? I mean, we have to remember that Jesus is the Son of God. We have to remember that he is omnipotent. He's all-powerful. I mean, think about some of the pretty amazing and miraculous things that Jesus has done. I mean, from the very beginning in Genesis, he was there and he helped create the universe. I mean, think about in Matthew 14, we read a few chapters ago, that he walked on water. He changed water into wine. He healed blind eyes and opened deaf ears. He healed the lame. He raised Lazarus from the dead after being dead for 4 days. And he even raised from the dead himself. I mean, basically, the possibilities of what Jesus is able to do are limitless. So how would you answer the question if Jesus asked you, what do you want me to do for you? What would it be in your life? How would you answer that? Would it be to heal someone that you know, or maybe even to heal a sickness that you're going through yourself? Would it be to help you to make a decision that you are trying to make and you don't know what to do? Would it be to provide finances for you for your situation? Would it be to heal your marriage? What would you ask Jesus to do? But remember this, whatever it is that you could ask him to do, he would be able to do it. That he has the capabilities, he's omnipotent, he could do anything, he could answer that prayer. What is the miracle in your life that you need Jesus to do? Jesus can do it. Just ask him. Imagine Jesus asking you that question today. If he were to ask you right now today, what do you want me to do for you? Think about what that response would be and ask him today. Ask him in prayer today. Give him the answer and then believe that he can do it because he can. And I believe that he can, I believe that he will do that for you in your situation today if you'll just ask him and believe him. I believe he'll do that. That's going to do it for today. Tomorrow we are in Matthew 21, and I'll see you tomorrow.